Welcome to the Week 3 edition of Jacket Pride TV. We're joined each week with head coach Mark Mitchell. Coach, good to see you.
See you, Justin.
I'm glad to interview again after another big win.
Yes, sir.
So tell us about some of the keys to success this week against East Lawrence and getting a big win, 40-15.
Well, we just talked about trying to get ourselves better. We played a really good Addison team the week before. And coming off a big rival win, we had talked all week about making sure we took care of what we needed to take care of to make ourselves better as a team. And once again, we got down behind early, but we responded well. And we responded, and we scored 40 unanswered before they scored right there at the end. The biggest thing that I liked is the strength of our team, is how big our line is and how physical we are, or we try to play physical.
Right.
And we pretty much took the line of scrimmage over there probably midway through the first quarter, second quarter, and just established our will and our dominance and what we want to do. And that goes back to what we talked about last week with our offensive line.
Yeah.
But also in that, our backfield has a mentality of if there's a guy there, we're going to run over him or make him miss. And I thought Edgel and Declan and Kelly and Rakim and Ethan and
Chris had a big game.
Chris, I thought they did an excellent job of doing it. We were a lot more balanced this week. I was running a whole lot more quarterback the first week, but last week was a lot more balanced. And when we got guys like Chris and Rakim that can come in and averaging, double-digit yards.
The pace.
Yes, change the pace, and both of them are shifty and smart. And Ethan and Edge are bangers and get after it and run where you're supposed to. And I thought Kelly and Declan did an awesome job running our offense and what we do. And just overall good team effort again. We watched film again, and for a second week in a row, I did not see anywhere on the film where I had to get on to somebody about effort. And those are just things that you can't coach.
I want to highlight, we try to highlight a few players each week. It's a team game, but I want to highlight your line. Front offensive and defensive line.
Well, on the show, you're going to hear or already heard from Landon Nix. I don't really know how exactly you set it up, but I wanted you to talk to Landon because he has pretty much exemplified what we have to do in our offense. We kind of changed some things around who we're pulling and kicking out and our scheme and stuff, and he has done an excellent job of being a leader on and off the field with our line. Like I've said before, Gavin's right there beside him. Then you got Nick Moody and Eli Carroll and Brody Dinsmore. And that I can't tell you enough, about what they've done for our team. And that's not to say there are other guys we've talked about is not doing a good job too, because you got John Goggins that we have in the backfield, plays nose for us. We got him in the backfield, and he does a lot of kicking out, turning up on backers. And I'm just happy to see that we have a lot of unselfish people, and that they've bought into what we're trying to do and what the strengths of our team is, and they're bought in it, and they're doing it, and they're executing it, and they're having a lot of fun doing it. And I like to see when I look down there with the linemen and they're hitting that sled, and you can just tell how much enjoyment they're getting out of it. And when they're kicking people out or turning up on them and they're pancaking people, the enjoyment they got coming to the sideline is almost as much as they got if they'd scored a touchdown. So as long as we can keep that up and we can keep our spirits up and we keep a good, fun atmosphere, I think we'll be able to keep doing these things week in and week out. So I've been very proud of that.
I saw something Friday night in a football game I had never seen before. So I go up to do the announcing for the band, and during timeouts, their PA guy was playing classic rock, and he was playing Guns N' Roses, and we looked down, and Gavin was standing on the line during the timeout playing an air guitar. And so I had never seen that before. Did that show up on film?
Well, no, but I might have to say something to him now. At least he was playing air guitar to the greatest band ever in my book, because they know when they want to butter me up, they'll play Guns N' Roses, Sweet Child of Mine or something. Edge don't even know what they're doing with the radio, and they'll butter me up and playing that, and I'll get to singing it.
I think his mindset was right, because then he commenced to fire up the football right over his side, and y'all went for a touchdown or a big gain or something. I don't remember exactly, but it was good.
You can look at that in two different ways. I kind of look at that as not being a negative, but as a positive when I was talking about how much they're enjoying playing football and having fun. And those are things that we try to do. And we try to have fun at practice as much as we can, but there's a lot of times, 4:30 is hot.
Yeah.
And we've already been through it, and I'm yelling at them, and I'm making them line up and all that stuff. We still got a little bit of running done at the end, but we try to have as much fun as we can. this is a close-knit bunch, and they mess with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And, you know, us, me, Bruce, Bradley, and Coach Key just had a really good time coaching and hanging with them.
Sure.
And it's a good bond that we have with this bunch, and it makes it easy to get up and come to work. It makes it easy when you're tired to get up. Like this morning, we practiced 6:30. I'm up and here. I'm excited. We get out there. We have really good practice. Those are all things as a coach. I keep telling everybody week in and week out, you know, you got a son that plays on this football team, you'd be very, very proud of him. We love them to death, and we ask a lot out of them. They're giving a lot back, but I just think in the world we live in today, if we can teach our kids that if they'll go above and beyond, they'll set themselves apart from everybody else, and they'll be special, and they'll get a promotion, they'll get a raise. You know, they're going to do the things that they need to do as a father or a husband when life gets tough. And so we're really proud of that fact right there. And good game last week.
Yeah. Well, I think what that shows, they're playing loose, playing confident, and they believe in what you're doing, and it's showing so far, 2-0. And so we're going to have some highlights now. Last week's win against East Lawrence. So we appreciate Bradley Cummins making these available to us each week. player interview this week is with senior offensive defensive lineman Landon. Landon, good to see you. Thanks for coming on with us today. Had a big game last week. So what were some of the keys to success last week against East Lawrence?
Our strategies, hitting them in the mouth, making them lay down and quit, and just score.
Yeah, score. You guys got down early. That's happened 2 weeks in a row, but didn't seem to shake you guys. So what was the attitude on the team when they scored first?
Well, we just kept on going. Like, whenever it happened, we just told our players, like, we got to keep on going. It ain't over until it's over.
One score doesn't matter, right? You just got to keep winning your game plan. You had a good game plan, too, able to run the ball effectively. What about on offense? You guys are doing really well. I like to highlight offensive linemen. To have a good running game, you got to have good offensive linemen. Do you guys pride yourself on being able to run the football like that?
Yes, sir. It all starts up front in the trenches. You can't do nothing about it if you have no trenches.
Reestablishing that line of scrimmage and making sure you guys are getting a good push. And it's been great to watch you this year. So Carbon Hill this week. Tell us a little bit about Carbon Hill, what you guys have seen on film, and what do you expect out of the Bulldogs?
Well, we got a few good players over there, but I mean, if you can't get them started, they can't run anywhere. So on defense, you just got to hit them.
Just got to shut them down. They got a good running back. Had a good running back last year. What have you seen out of him?
Well, he can run the ball really well, and he's got a good technique of shifting back and forth.
Yeah.
But if he can't get started, he ain't going anywhere.
There you go. So got to fill your gaps, do play responsibilities. Good. All right. So when you're away from football, what we'd like to do is kind of chill out.
Whenever I just hang out by myself and just there.
Just kind of chill, do your own thing? Okay. Well, Landon, thank you for coming on today. Winston County will take on Carbon Hill this Friday night at Carbon Hill. This week we're joined by senior defensive back, running back, Zander Ward. Zander, it's good to see you, man.
Good to see you too.
We talked with Jesse last week about his experience at Basic. We wanted to take time to interview you as well. We appreciate your service to our country and the future that you have. We'll be praying for you and looking for good things out of you. So tell us a little bit about Basic and what it was like for you this summer.
Well, Basic was pretty fun, honestly. Kind of just to sum it up, it was really fun. I don't really know.
Yeah.
It's hard to put in terms.
I think Jesse said it's the most fun you'll ever have. You don't want to do again.
Exactly.
Exactly. So what are some things you learned this summer that will help you in life, in football or whatever?
Discipline, just doing what you're told, definitely showing up on time.
There you go.
Mainly just doing what you're told and being disciplined.
Yeah, discipline. That's what Jesse said last week too. So what kind of prompted you to think about, are you doing the National Guard like he is, or are you doing infantry?
I'm doing a National Guard.
So same unit he'll be in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So what's your next step for you and him next? You've done Basic, you've finished school, so what's your next step?
AIT. We go into AIT, which is individual training. So it's where you learn your job, how to do it correctly and proficiently.
Gotcha. So what unit will you guys be based out of?
Jasper.
Jasper.
It's the 77th Engineering out of Jasper.
Okay, good. Well, we're thankful for your service to our country and the way you represent Winston County, and good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
All right, well, welcome to this week's Talking with Todd. I'm Jesse, Todd, and this is Marcus. He's a pretty good buddy. I got a few questions for you this week, Marcus.
All right.
First, you doing all right?
Yeah, what about you?
You doing all right? Okay, that's good to see. First question: Why do you run with your hands balled up like you always want to fight somebody?
Cause it don't even know bro. I just do it. It's just a habit.
All right, so that was my first question, which brings me to my second question. You always walking around all tensed up, like just walking around bowed up. Well, is there a reason for that?
I gotta like to set my tone, you know.
Oh, is that it?
I ain't never been messed with or anything like that. So
Is that why you had never been messed with? Well, I know I'm scared of you. I mean, it just tears me up. But I reckon that's all I had for you today, and it was good talking with you. Good having you on the show. And until next week, this is Talking with Todd.